Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Strictly Splatter Presents. I am wearing my Strictly Splatter shit right here, late lamented website I used to run with my friend George Lopez. Anyway, it's a third video review. I got some amazing stuff from Arrow, and I want to share that with you. So I'm gonna leave the best for last, but here's a taste. Okay. We'll start with the worst one though, because this is painful. Island of Death. There you go. Check out the back there. If you want to freeze that, you can probably read that. The lucky ones got their brains blown out. The lucky ones didn't see this movie. So, Island of Death is basically you see that's the Blu-ray. That's the DVD disc right there, looking all flipped around. It comes with a booklet. This movie is only for people who like torture and really ugly things. It's the best way to describe it. It's about a couple who, there's a twist to them at the end. I'm not going to say what they are. It's a craving for lust. How wonderful. And they head to they head to Mykonos, the Greek island, to what looks like vacation. But then the more you get into it, you realize I think that they're on the run. By the way, here's a nice little preview of what's coming up on Arrow's labels. Some cool stuff there. So you think they're on vacation, but they're not. They're on the run from the police. Apparently, they're actually murderers. I'm not going to say too much about this movie because it's really it's an atrocious watch. It's really for the kind of person who likes the following. In the first 10 minutes of this movie, the guy wants to have sex with his girlfriend in the morning, but she's not up to it. So he goes outside, he finds a baby goat, he proceeds to have sex with the goat, and then he cuts the goat's throat. That's like the first 10 minutes of the movie. So if that's something that appeals to you, then pick up Island of Death. It actually looks great on Blu-ray. I've never seen it before, so I don't know if it what the transfer looks like, if it's good, compared to any other releases of Island of Death. But it's really atrocious. It's really hard to watch. It's really unpleasant. It's for people who like really kind of ugly situation movies. Then there's like, guys peeing on old ladies and just a whole bunch of other stuff. Just really not fun to watch. It comes with a whole bunch of specials here. You've got the director Mastorakis, Nico Mastorakis, returns to the original locations. You got archive interviews. You got alternate opening titles. You got the original tracks from the soundtrack, which is not that great, by the way. And then a 4-part documentary charting the director's career, which I'm really not that interested in watching. It is it's a tough one. So I'm gonna say pass unless you really like extreme torture movies or just ugly films. This one is pretty cool. It's not great. It's sort of a follow-up to a movie I talked about last time called Massacre Gun. Same director, sort of the same star, Joe Shishido. This one also has Meiko Kaji, who was in Blind Woman's Curse, which I also talked about recently. And unfortunately, it's not as good as Massacre Gun, and it's not as good as Blind Woman's Curse. It's got some great artwork there. You can see that's the Blu-ray. Oh, these things are always upside down when I show them to you guys. There you go. Blu-ray, DVD, great. I mean, Arrow does an amazing job with these things. Look how beautiful that is. Oh gosh. It comes with new artwork, which is just phenomenal. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And obviously it's reverse with the original poster there. I didn't like this one as much as Massacre Gun because, I'll be honest, I was confused. I forgot which character was what. I forgot, who was who. It's a Yakuza movie. So there's a ton of guys. Here's the back. There's a ton of guys. The spine looks really neat. Ton of characters, a ton of the plot's fairly simplistic, but it gets so bogged down in so many different characters, so many different motives, and I forgot who was who. I remember the two main guys, Joe Shishido and, gosh, what's the name of the Akira Kobayashi. I remembered them, but everyone else, I'm like, who's that guy? Wait, who? What is he? What's the stake in this? How does that guy know that? Why does this guy want this? Also, the action isn't as interesting looking as Massacre Gun. Also, it's in color. It's in bright color. I'll open the booklet up for you. You guys can see the inside. It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful kind of color film. Here's the cool booklet. Probably can't show that on Facebook, on YouTube. So yeah, color booklet. Booklet's really cool. It's got some fun writing in it. But honestly, there's just too many characters, too much going on, and it's not as it's the same director as Massacre Gun, but I feel there's very little style. There's very little directing panache in it. It's very flat. It's kind of dull. Nothing, not a lot happens. The action is very plain. It's not as epic as Massacre Gun. So, I don't know. If you liked Massacre Gun, you might enjoy this, but I loved Massacre Gun, and I wasn't a big fan of Retaliation. But if you're a completist for Japanese Yakuza cinema, I think you'll probably dig it. And this is Retaliation. That's the back again. Decent movie, but not my favorite, unfortunately. This one, Dr. Jekyll and Miss Osbourne, also known as, I believe it was called Dr. Jekyll and His Women, was made by, I'm going to butcher the name, Walerian Borowski, whatever. If you guys know how to pronounce it, go ahead. Borowchuk, whatever. He made a movie called The Beast, which is a very interesting movie. It's about this woman who gets raped by a Bigfoot in a very graphic way. So it's well known for that. And I didn't know about this movie, Dr. Jekyll and Miss Osbourne, until Arrow put it out. Here's the back. And sad to say, it is. Here's the booklet. You got Udo Kier in the movie. There's Udo doing this thing. He is Dr. Jekyll, and I'm just gonna make sure there's no nudity in this before I flip it around. It's the booklet. You got some. Again, the booklets are great. There's great writing. There's great, lots of good stuff talking about well, I'm glad I didn't show you that. Talking about the making of the movie and interviews and all that good stuff. And it's definitely interesting if you are into the behind the scenes of the film. However, this is kind of funny. So this is the cover, and then the reverse cover is basically it in French. Haha, it's the same thing but French. It's a good-looking movie. I'll give it that. It looks fine on Blu-ray, but it's definitely one of those chamber dramas. Blu-ray, DVD, same artwork on that. It's one of those chamber dramas, where you're like in a kind of an old stuffy Victorian house, and it takes place during the wedding, sort of the engagement party for Mrs. Osbourne and Dr. Jekyll, Udo Kier. And every once in a while he'll go into this bath of like Mexican water, and then he turns into Dr. Jekyll. Mr. Hyde, and he kills people by raping them with his monster penis, which you do see a couple times, and it's not as graphic as The Beast, but you definitely see penis more than you want to, which is more than 0 times. It's definitely not a movie for everybody. If you like art house kind of Euro trashy, semi, softcore kind of Euro cinema. There's the back. You will enjoy this. I was not a fan of it. I was really bored by it. I was actually surprisingly bored by this movie. There's a lot of special features here. An appreciation about the director from a long-term Borowski fan, Michael Brook. Audio commentary from an archival commentary by Borowski. Whatever. Well, I'll go with Borowski. Let's see. Brand new interviews with Udo Kier, Marina Piero. She plays Osborne. A short film by Borokowski. A featurette by Borokowski in early cinema. Trailers, all that kind of stuff. If you're a fan of this movie, this is the definitive version of this thing. However, if you've never heard of this movie, and you're not into slow, Euro trashy kind of movies, stay away. I'm sorry. I gotta go with it's not worth it. But you wanna know what's worth it? I'll tell you what's worth it. This. Look at this. This is the Society box set that Arrow is putting out. Look at, I'll show you everything. Oh, look at the back. Oh, I'll just show you look at that. Oh my god. And then the spine says Society. Yeah, tip it like that so you can see it. And then, oh my lord, Brian using a film. If you guys have never seen Society, I'm not going to say what it's about because I don't want to ruin it. But this movie is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And then they give you this perfect treatment. I'll start off with the discs. I'm going to open it up. Start off with the discs here. The disc pack has its own little fun artwork here. And you flip it open. And you've got the two, you got a DVD, you got a Blu-ray. And you've got a little insert here. You got the original poster of Society. And you're cordially invited to come to the shunting, which if you've seen the movie, you know what that is. And you got the booklet right here, which is very, very neat. I'm going to flip that open for you so you can kind of get the, look at that. Oh my god. If you haven't seen the movie, you don't know what this means. It's amazing. Great 80s horror thriller, paranoia type of thing. That's also one of the original posters. It's great. Just great. And they do, I probably shouldn't show that because that'll give something away. I'll show this though. Uh-oh, what is that? What's happening? Who is that guy? Is that guy? Oh, what's happening? Is that a butt? I don't know. You have to watch the movie. Amazing. So, the little booklet sort of talking about the movie. I believe it's by Alan Jones, sort of a review talking about the making of the film and the impact. I'm surprised it wasn't a hit when it came out because it's an amazing movie and it's so obscure, but it's got some of the greatest effects ever of all time. I would say it's from the producer of Reanimator and From Beyond. Also one of the creators of the Honey I Shrunk the Kids movies, believe it or not. So that's the Blu-ray and the DVD, and then it comes with this little book, which happens to be the two-part comic book sequel to Society, which I didn't even know existed. But there you go. There's a little look at that. Two-part sequel comic book to Society. Very awesome. That's a nice little add-on that I didn't know it came with it. Beautiful, beautiful book. Nice little packaging. It's kind of small and compact, so it fits in the box. You put them together, and they are just. This is my favorite horror box release for a single title. That's 2015, hands down. Look at that. Oh my god, beautiful. Just and if when you get it, because you got to get this. Number one. This is my number one pick of the year. I mean, I so far anyway. The Society box set. You've got to pick this up. It's only $25 on Amazon now, I believe, and it might even jump the price. But when you touch it, like all these little creases and crazy little skin things are raised, so it gives it a nice texture. It's not flat. I mean, it's just a beautiful piece of artwork, and not only that, it's a beautiful Blu-ray transfer. Tons of special features, interviews, an older interview with Yuzna, a new interview with Yuzna, the director. You get a video by Screaming Mad George, who did the effects for this movie. One of his weird music videos. I guess he had I didn't know this, he had a heavy metal band, so you get to hear one of his songs. It's not great, but the effects in that are fantastic. You get to see interviews with the cast and the comic book, and I know a brand new commentary by Yuzna. I got to check that out. I didn't know about that. Lots of great stuff on this. This is one of my favorite releases of the year. Arrow outdid themselves with Society. If you're a horror fan, you need to own this. If you've never seen this movie, you need to own it. Trust me, it's everyone talks about, horror is so boring. Horror is the same old, same old. Watch Society, because this came out in the '80s, and this blew my mind. It's one of the better '80s horror movies. It's so unique and different. So Society, 100%. You gotta get Society. Society. Buy it. Buy it. That's it. Don't bother. Only if you're completist, and only if you're a sadist. And that's it for my Arrow releases for right now. I'm going to have another one coming up very soon with keynote titles of Mario Bava Blu-rays, which I've been digging through, and they are amazing. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you soon.